Today, Nike finally delivers Caitlin Clark PE. Is this the first Caitlin Clark exclusive Nike commercial since she's entered the WNBA?
Aja Wilson just saw something that probably made her wonder about everything she thought she knew about Nike's choices.
However, at least we saw something. We saw something from Nike about her PE, and they finally released a PE. Paige Becker's already got a PE. Jewel Lloyd's got multiple. A lot of people have gotten PEs from Nike, but
the Nike company just put out Caitlin Clark's first big commercial all by herself, and everyone on the internet is going totally crazy about it. At the same time, WNBA games without Clark got really low TV ratings again. When Nike decided to do this, it was really tough timing for everyone who isn't Caitlin Clark. Do you think Nike finally figured out who their biggest star really is? Or did they wait too long to do this?
So Nike finally released their trailer for Caitlin Clark's sneaker. They finally did. And a lot of people thought that when Nike were talking up, they were going to be, talking up like Caitlin might have been getting her signature shoe. They might have been talking up potentially Caitlin getting that signature shoe. And it would have been really cool if Caitlin got her signature shoe. But let's be real, that was never happening. That was never, ever, ever happening.
Oh, wow. Where do we even start talking about this amazing example of a company picking the perfect time? Nike just put out Caitlin Clark's first big commercial all by herself since she started playing in the WNBA, and people's reactions are exactly what you'd think they'd be, and even more.
And by the way, I know she doesn't have a signature shoe, but this is the first time in 5 years that there is a player that has had their own Kobe. Available 30th of the 6th in selected regions.
Okay, before we talk about the commercial, let's talk about why some folks are feeling super awkward right now. The WNBA games this week without Caitlin Clark playing, total snooze fest for viewers. The numbers were so low, it's like hardly anyone cares about women's basketball when Clark's team, the Indianafever, isn't on. NBA TV showed 3 games, and even altogether, they had fewer viewers than Clark's least watched game this season. Think about that. The Los Angeles Sparks versus Chicago Sky game, with stars like Angel Reese, Kelsey Plum, and Hailey Van Lip, only got 240,000 people watching. Everyone keeps saying these players are super popular, so you'd think tons of people would watch, right? Nope, 240,000 says that's not true. But wait, it gets even worse. The Sparks versus Minnesota Lynx game, with Kelsey Plum again and Napheesa Collier, who some say is the best player out there, only had 220,000 viewers. Collier is awesome. She can score from anywhere and guard anyone. But it seems like people aren't tuning in to watch her. And then, the absolute lowest point, Connecticut Sun versus Las Vegas Aces, got just 100,000 viewers. Yup, 100,000 in 2025. That's real. Not a mistake. That's how few people watch WNBA games when Caitlin Clark isn't playing. Add up all 3 games, 240,000 plus 220,000 plus 100,000, and you get 560,000 viewers total. Clark's least watched game alone had 581,000 viewers, and her most watched had 624,000. One player in one game gets more eyes than 3 games with other so-called big stars. This is why Nike finally gave Clark the awesome commercial she deserved. The timing is perfect for a big told you so, and super rough for people who keep saying Clark isn't way more popular than others. The commercial is so cool. It's classic Nike, kind of dark, super intense, and all about the game. We see Clark tying up her new Kobe 5 Pro Player exclusive shoes, and there's this moment where everything gets quiet, she zeroes in, and it's all about her drive to win. It's the kind of ad Nike makes for their biggest stars. Linking her to Kobe is super smart for selling stuff. By connecting Clark to Kobe's brand, Nike's saying she's one of the basketball greats. It's not just about shoes, it's about her legacy in basketball. The snake eyes part, where her eyes glow with crazy focus, reminds everyone of Kobe's Mamba mentality. What's wild is how long Nike took to make this. Clark's been their most popular athlete since she started, selling more stuff than big NBA stars and getting more buzz than anyone else they work with. But it took almost 2 whole seasons to give her a solo commercial. That's just silly. Fans love the commercial, but they're also a bit annoyed. Finally, is what most people are saying, which shows they've been frustrated with how Nike's been treating Clark. Some fan comments are so funny, like, wow, Nike must have a fever, playing on both Nike being sick for not promoting Clark sooner and her team, the Indiana Fever. Others are straight up like, thank goodness, time to buy Nike stock again. This isn't just about loving basketball. It's about being annoyed when companies miss obvious chances to make money. The commercial looks amazing too. The camera work is top-notch, the sound makes you feel like you're there, and it feels like something Nike does for their biggest stars. This isn't some cheap video, it's a big deal for a big athlete. Now let's talk about what this means for other players, like A'ja Wilson. Wilson's been Nike's main WNBA star for years, getting ads and support. She's super talented and deserves praise. But Clark's new commercial is way fancier than what Wilson's gotten, which isn't Wilson's fault. She can't control Nike's choices or what fans watch. But it's probably tough to see a newer player get this kind of big ad so fast. It's just a harsh reality. The shoes, those Kobe 5 Pro player exclusives, will be on Nike's SNKRS app, and they'll sell out super quick. People will probably pay thousands for them later. That's how much people want Clark's stuff, and it's why Nike should have done this from the start. This is just a special edition shoe, not even her own signature one. Nike's testing how people react before making her a full shoe line. From what fans are saying, that signature shoe can't come soon enough. Releasing this commercial when Clark's injured and missing games is super smart. It keeps people talking about her even when she's not playing, keeps her popularity up, and softens the blow of her missing games. From a business side, this ad shows Nike finally gets it. Clark is their biggest basketball star right now. Not just in women's basketball, but all basketball. The viewership numbers, sales, and fan excitement prove it. The team that made this commercial nailed it. They made something epic that treats Clark like the superstar she is, not just another player. The details, like lighting, sound, and symbols, show they put real effort into it. That snake eyes effect is genius. It's subtle but screams Kobe's vibe. It's what makes great ads stand out. This commercial might change how Nike markets women's basketball. Instead of treating it like a side thing or just checking a box, they're seeing the real money-making potential. Clark's success is probably making them rethink everything. Those awful TV ratings without Clark make this ad even bigger. While other popular stars' games get tiny audience, Nike's putting big money and creativity into Clark. They know who's worth it. What's cool is how much Nike will push this ad. Will it get the same TV time as their big NBA star ads? Will it play during prime time? How much they promote it will show how serious they are about Clark. Fans have been begging for Clark stuff for months, and this ad is just the start of Nike cashing in. A clothing line is coming before the holidays, and her signature shoe should hit next year. If Nike does it right, they'll make tons of money. For other WNBA players, this ad is a reality check about sports marketing. Being super talented isn't enough. You have to get people excited commercially. Clark does that, and Nike's finally acting. The commercial's quality sets a new bar for WNBA ad. It's not some cheap local ad. It's big budget and takes women's basketball serious. For Clark, this ad probably feels amazing. Having a huge company finally give her the respect she's earned must feel so good, especially after being overlooked for this kind of support from Nike says she's a true super. The timing with her injury is smart too. It keeps her in the spotlight even when she's off the court. This ad is probably just the start of Clark's marketing. She keeps winning on the court and her value grows. More big opportunities. Nike finally sees what they've got and is stepping up. Let's talk about the big comparison. Other WNBA ads. A'ja Wilson's Nike ads are good, but they don't have this level of wow or creativity. The difference is super obvious. Nike's saying Clark is on another level commercially. Social media is buzzing too. Even basketball fans who don't usually watch WNBA are noticing because of this ad. That's Clark's power. She gets people who don't care about women's basketball to watch. This ad affects more than just Nike. Other brands are probably wishing they'd signed Clark. Nike's deal with her looks smarter every day. The ad also places Clark in basketball culture by tying her to Kobe's legacy. That's huge. Nike doesn't do that for just anyone. The ad's style, dark and movie-like, shows they see Clark as more than an athlete. They see her as a future icon. That's the kind of treatment only the biggest stars get. Those bad WNBA ratings make this ad even more striking. While other stars' games flop, Nike's betting big on Clark's star power. They get what some basketball media still won't admit. This ad will probably shake up sports marketing. Other brands will see the response and wonder why they're not investing more in women's sports or grabbing obvious chances. For Clark, this ad is proof of everything she's done in her short career. Nike doesn't make ads like this for players they're not fully behind. This says Clark's a key part of their basketball marketing plan going forward. The ad's technical stuff is awesome too. The sound makes you feel like you're in Clark's head before a game. The visuals, especially that snake eyes moment, tie her to Kobe perfectly. The clothes and style are sleek and cool. Nike's making Clark someone fans want to be like, not just look up to. That's huge for selling stuff and building her brand. The ad setting isn't just a boring gym. It's special, making basketball feel like art, not just a game. This ad shows a big change in how brands like Nike see women's sports. Instead of treating female athletes like an afterthought, they're seeing the real money-making potential. Clark's success probably sped this up by years. The timing with the All-Star Game announcement is perfect too. Clark will be a big deal during All-Star Weekend, and this ad makes her shine even more. The combo is super smart. For other players, this ad is both inspiring and a push to step up. If you can build a fan base like Clark's, big marketing deals will come. But it also shows how far ahead she is in drawing a crowd. The bottom line? Nike finally realized who their biggest basketball star is. The ad is awesome, the timing is spot on, and those terrible WNBA ratings without Clark make it even juicier. Aja Wilson and others can only watch as Clark gets the superstar treatment they probably thought was for older players. Sports marketing can be tough, but it's honest about who gets attention. This ad is Nike saying they see that truth, and it's about time. Nike remembered they love making money, and this ad proves it. The difference between Clark's star power and those awful WNBA ratings without her is crystal clear. If you're pumped to see what other brands realize Clark's value, hit that like button and subscribe. What do you think her signature shoe logo should look like? Share your ideas below.